So there's a kind of ongoing inside joke among us TAs that about who the most favorite TA is. And we don't actually care about who the most favorite TA is, but it's an inside joke because it stems from a couple semesters ago. One of the TAs, it was for a different professor in Econ 110 that we were working for, and one of the TAs really wanted to know who the most favorite TA was. I think he was expecting it would be him among the students. And the professor was preparing a mid-course evaluation survey to send out to the students. And so the TA really wanted this question about who your favorite TA is in the survey. So the professor put the question in, he sent out the survey, and we received the results, and it wasn't the TA that wanted it. So that was kind of fun. So that's why we kind of joke about this. So anyways, that's why I mentioned it in my emails and in class. So today I want to talk a little bit about comparative versus absolute advantage, which is really important when talking about specialization, trade, why we choose to do what we do, how we can be more efficient giving our resources, because basically all of us have scarcity, whether it's with time, whether it's with money, resources. We just have we have restrictions, so we have to do what we're best at comparatively, what we're specialized at, in order to maximize efficiency. So absolute advantage is pretty easy to define. It's whoever can do something better, just simply better. They're better at something or everything than everyone else. So a great example of this, I would say, is our TA, Spencer. Okay, Spencer, he's TA'd the longest, so he knows a lot about econ. He can probably answer your questions faster than I can. He can answer an econ problem faster than I can. He can probably grade papers faster than I can. He has more intramural championships than I do. He could probably beat my Flappy Bird score. He's probably been on more dates than I have. You name it, he's done it. He's great. We love Spencer. So I would say Spencer has an absolute advantage in these things. And then you have me. I try my hardest. I do my best. But I mean, you just can't compete with Spencer. Okay, so we're going to explore this idea of comparative and absolute advantage in this problem. So let's say we have two different skills, or I guess services. Teaching students versus grading papers. Okay. Now, so let's say I can teach one student in 30 minutes, and I can grade one paper in 20 minutes. Pretty good, but could be better. And then Spencer, who's just an absolute machine, can do one student. Let me zoom in a little bit. So rewrite this. This is bugging me. So one student in 10 minutes, and he can do one paper in 5 minutes. I mean, just crazy. He's just built different. Okay. So there we have. So it's pretty clear to see that Spencer has an absolute advantage. He can just do things faster than I can. But what about comparative advantage? So the way we find this is who can comparatively do things better than the other person. The way we find this was we need opportunity cost. And I'm going to show you how I calculate this. And this is my way. This is how I approach it. It's pretty simple. That's why I do it, is because it's simple and it's consistent. It doesn't matter how the problem's worded. If it's 5 papers per 1 minute or 1 paper per 5 minutes, always gives you the right answer, which is why I like it. And I don't get easily mixed up, which is why I do it. If this works for you, great. If you want to do something else, like the way Dr. Price does it or another TA, by all means, just do whatever works for you. It's that you get the right answer. I'll show you the way I do it. So let's say, so we need to figure out the opportunity cost, one of the opportunity costs. It doesn't matter which one. So we're just going to find opportunity cost of teaching students. I just picked one. Okay. So we're going to start with Adam. So whatever it is, in this case, is teaching students, opportunity cost of teaching students. So because I want teaching students, I'm going to put that in the denominator. That is very important. So student. So let's look. Teaching students, it's one student in 30 minutes. So then we look, do another one right here for the paper, but we have this common unit, which is, in this case, it's minutes. Okay, we have minutes and minutes. So we want to get rid of minutes because it's the common unit. We just wanted papers and students. So in order to get rid of it, we have to cancel it. In order to cancel it, minutes has to be in the denominator as well as the numerator. So for papers, we'll put minutes in the denominator in order to cancel it. So it's 20 minutes per one paper. So now we can cancel out these minutes. And then we just multiply across. So 30 times one paper is equal to 30 paper over 20 students. And then we can simplify this down further to 3p over 2s. Let me rewrite that because my handwriting is not good. Okay. And then if we want to simplify this even further, just to make it easier, it's 1.5 paper for every student. Okay, that is Adam's opportunity cost of teaching students. And the way I know I did it right is because one student is in the denominator and it's per every one student. Okay, that's how I know I have the right number. So in this case, what it's saying is for every student I teach, I give up 1.5 graded papers I could have done in that same amount of time. So now let's look at Spencer. And we're going to do the same thing. Opportunity cost of teaching students. So in this case, we want to put students in the denominator. Okay, students, so it's one student per 10 minutes. And we want to get rid of minutes, so we're going to do 5 minutes. Per one paper. So now we can cancel out the common unit and then multiply across, which is equal to 10p over 5s, which we can then simplify down to 2p per s. So 2 graded papers per student taught. So that's his opportunity cost. So Spencer is giving up 2 graded papers for every student he chooses to teach. So then we look at which one's the lowest of the opportunity costs, because that's your comparative advantage. And so in this case, it's Adam. It means because what it's saying is I only give up 1.5 graded papers for every student I teach, while Spencer gives up 2 graded papers for every student he teaches. So we want to look at who has a lower opportunity cost comparatively, and they have the comparative advantage. So in this case, so you can see this, yeah. So Adam has comparative advantage in teaching. And then whoever has comparative advantage in one service, the other has a comparative advantage in the other good. You can't have one person with comparative advantages in both. So that means Spencer has comparative advantage in papers. And the way, if we want to prove this mathematically, we just have to flip these two numbers. So in this case, for example, it's 3 over 2. So if we just flip these, so now it's 2 over 3. And if we flip these ones, it's 1 over 2. So if we look at which ones are smaller, we see that Spencer is smaller, so that's why he has a comparative advantage in papers. Adam, out.